chance to actually see it. So you guys have that. You always have that, cultural pride in saying that it was yours. We're not stripping you of that right. But to, pass it along to another culture is good on your part, and it's also benefiting the people here in Britain.
All right, so I just want to clarify that Janelle's raising a new point, that these exhibits exist all over the world, and if they were stripped of those exhibits, then that would be a problem for museums all around the world, and also that Greece can still appreciate its culture even if the objects are in the British Museum. We had a lot of hands go up to respond to that. Let's go with Alyssa. Lamira, you'll go next, I promise.
Basically, it is true that museums have a lot of different exhibits from all around the world, but they don't need this specific exhibit, which was not but they don't need this specific exhibit in their museum to keep it running. From this quote from Elganism.com, it says that museums only display 1% of the items that they have. And since this particular item was originally a huge part of Greece's culture, I don't feel that they needed to take the whole thing back to the museum. They don't need it.
All right, Ania, go for it.
Well, that just, sets itself up, because if you say it was one of the most, the hugest part of British, it was the biggest part of Greek's culture, then that obviously, that's what they need, because that represents Greece by itself. So why wouldn't you want to take their biggest, piece of jewelry and present it saying, this represents Greece? Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so again, we've got this contention about the importance of this piece and whether that matters more to the British, in the British Museum, or Greece. All right, let's go Epi. We haven't heard from you in a little while.
I just have, I just want to throw out a question.
Ooh, I like that.
Why is it better that you have these all the Parthenon sculptures and pieces in your museum when Greece is perfectly capable of maintaining their own statues?
Continue, I'm sorry. So that gets us to the question, can Greece handle the marbles? Do they have a situation where the marbles can be housed effectively? All right. Let's see. Peter, we haven't heard from you in a little bit.
All right. To answer that question you threw out there, Greece, as we all know from the news and whatnot, is in serious debt. What would happen if someone were to decide, the curator or the government itself were to seize the statues from the museums and sell them off anyway? Wouldn't that just completely nullify the purpose of bringing them back to Greece? And isn't Britain keeping the statues there a way to pay Britain back for the debts that Greece owes them? Makes the payment of debts much cheaper.
Yeah, let's let Janelle just add a couple words onto it, and then we'll have the rebuttal.
Okay, and not only that, I'm doing my fellow partner because the British protected the marbles from being damaged during the Greek War of Independence between 1821 and 1833. So that means that we are perfectly capable of having y'all exhibit in our museum. We are able to handle it.
All right, so we've got an argument about current financial situations and historical fact about protecting the marbles, stating that they should stay in England because of this. Rebuttal, or any new points that you want to add. Autumn.
Okay, so I had a rebuttal.
Please.
For I think it was about Peter saying that Greek was in debt. Okay, so is America, and we're doing pretty off.
England is not America.
Okay, so okay, but I'm just giving an example. So America is also in debt, and they're doing pretty off. Were we supposed to be from Greek or something?
You're supposed to be from Greece. You're representing the Greece opinion.
Yeah. So y'all see America is advanced and whatnot, and they're in debt into a lot of people, probably way more than we will ever be in debt without a small little country. Anyway, also I wanted to say something else.
All right, well.
It crossed my mind. What did I want to say?
All right,
I forgot.
We'll come back to you in a second.
I need to write it down.
Before we continue on this point, I want to open it up for people who maybe...
I remembered.
We'll get to you in a second. I want to open it up for people who maybe haven't added their 2 cents yet. If there's anything, no pressure, that you'd like to add to the debate that hasn't been said quite yet.
I'm in a group.
Well, you'll come in next time. It's all right. Sorry, hold your horses. All right, Autumn. Since you remember what you're gonna say, I'm gonna let you finish up here.
Okay, so y'all guys are from England and whatnot. So would y'all guys like it if we, like, took the top of the Eiffel Tower and just hit it in our museum and just showcase that this is like the best part of Paris. Like, you can't get much better than this. Don't go to their museum. You can just come to the Greeks museum and you see the top of the Eiffel Tower right there.
I think rather than arguing about the Eiffel Tower, I'd like you to respond to Autumn's basic point. Okay? I think we know what she's trying to say.
Before can I?
No,
We'll come back to you after. Your team's been going for a little while. Who would like to go on this side?
On what side?
This side.
I had another point to bring up.
All right. Why don't you bring up a new point then?
Wait, can I do it?
Yeah. Let's have Janelle do a quick response. Then Wesley will bring up a new point.
Okay, first of all, we had an agreement with you guys and we had permission. We would never
Guys.
give you permission to take part of that. So that would never happen.
okay, can I rebuttal?
Not yet.
As introduced in the debate about the marbles being sent back to Greece, the video that you gave us, one of the debaters brought up the idea that the French, the fact that the French would have stolen the marbles anyway. So,
Ooh.
in the contract saying that Elgin would protect the marbles, I think he indeed did protect the marbles, and the marbles are still being protected.
All right. So I'm gonna have maybe one more comment from each side, because then we're gonna need to get to the next group. Okay? So why don't you guys consider what you want your last point to be? Why don't you guys consider what you want your last point to be for just a second?
Just
Okay?
throw it out there. We should throw it out there. Just let it sit and soak in.
All right. Since you guys went first, I'm gonna let them go last. Okay? So why don't you guys give your point?
Is that right?
Let's hear it.
Now, answer me one question. Wouldn't you like to have the whole collection back in Greece so all the tourism would flow and feed the government money? Wouldn't you love to have the whole collection on display? Wouldn't it be great?
Government money, but
Yeah, it'd be great, right? To have the whole collection. Well, you can't have it. The thing is, you cannot have the whole collection, as before, we didn't even take the whole thing, first of all. We took quite a bit of it, but we didn't take the whole thing.
majority of it.
Plus, a large portion of it was also destroyed before we could even take it. Therefore, you cannot. There's no point in saying, "Oh, let us assemble the whole collection." There is no whole collection.
All right. Okay. That's it. Well done. No, that's it. Cut off.
Small point.
No, next
No,
group.
Wesley, it's over.
You had your chance.
It's over, Wesley.
You had your chance. 1 second. What would you guys like to
Go ahead,
say?
Epi. Just throw it out there.
Okay.
I don't think Owen said anything either.
All right.
so
Just
shut up.
guys, just let it be. All right.
I'm going to quote
Stop
Irani
using your
A.
group.
Stem, I can't say the name,
Okay.
from Greece.org,
Mm-hmm.
that according to Article 5 of the Convention for the Protection of Cultural Property in the Event of Armed Conflict, hereinafter the Hague Conventions, countries in occupation of the whole or part of the territory of another state shall as thus far as possible support the component national authorities of the occupied country in safeguarding and preventing its cultural property. And simply, the Ottomans acted contrary to and in breach of such obligation. Although the convention was, signed in 1954, the general principles found in it,
Mm-hmm.
which the convention codified, create legal obligations because of the long-standing tradition and conduct of the states, which were also applicable to situations before the convention even came into force.
In English, what does that mean?
That just means that this convention still applies to our situation. So Britain is almost legally obligated to return our cultural property.
And it's a human right.
All right.
Human rights. It's a human
All right,
right.
that
I'm
is-
sorry, it's over.